Hey guys, back with another video, and today I have this is kind of an announcement video and a TBR video. So the announcement portion of this video is actually I got the wrong prompt sheet. It is a Christian readathon. Now I know that there are probably a ton of these out there. I just have not come across one, and I've been wanting to do one for about 6 months now. But I was just trying to wait and see if there was one out there that I could just participate in instead of starting one of my own. But I couldn't find one, so I'm starting one, and if this goes anywhere, that's awesome. If it doesn't, I tried. So this readathon will take place between August 8th and September 8th. So give it a full month. And there are 6 prompts, and I will get into them. So first prompt is testimony. Read a testimony novel. So a novel that of your choosing that has someone's testimony, or the entire novel is a person's testimony. Second prompt, together. Read a novel about the call of God's people to kingdom focus unity on race. So there's a lot going on in the world, and I do feel like that race is like a really big issue right now. COVID-19 is the biggest issue, right, at the forefront of everything, but race is an issue right now. It's like a mainstream issue, just like I would say it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I believe it's 5 years ago now, for when the death of Michael Brown happened. And then before that, it was, the last big death that happened. But I feel like this has always been an issue with people of color, Black, brown community. But we are called to live out our lives in a different way with God's word. Not to say that we don't recognize color, because that would be crazy. God made all the colors, and he made them in his image, not in, the image of us humans. Like we didn't. And the whole idea of race did not even come about until the Americas, or the North America, the United States was formed, and it became a thing of people trying to make a superior race. At least my summary, my interpretation of what I've learned in history, what I've continued to educate myself on. A book that's really good about that is White Rage or White Fragility, to give you any history on that. But I specifically chose this because I feel like God's people are called to speak out about injustice of race using God's word. I think we're called to live a different life that isn't, how do I say it? That isn't like, that isn't to where our race is at the forefront of things. Like, I believe that God made all colors in his image, and he loves them all, which is why we're all different colors. And I feel like God's kingdom is called to integrate that, and so that we can be a part of each other's life and learn from each other and grow together in God's word, not separate because of our colors and grow in God's word separately. That's not how unity works. We have to all be together. So that is why this is a prompt that is one that I really like, and that I really wanted to include, because it's a lot going on in the world, and we need to know how to behave in a godly manner and how God calls us to. Prompt 3, relationships. Read a novel on godly relationships. It can be a romance, it could be friendship, it could be family relationships. This one can double with the next prompt if you so choose. And I just wanted to make that statement because there's a couple readathons that I've been a part of where I'm like, I'm not sure if we can double our books. You can double this with the next prompt that comes up, which the next prompt is fiction. Read a biblical-based fiction. So there are a lot of romance, like biblical romances out there, biblical sci-fi. I'm not sure about biblical horror because, to be quite perfectly honest, I mean, with some of the stuff that some of us have been through in our life, that's enough horror for us. But I mean, I enjoy reading horror novels. I just have not found a biblical horror novel, so that will not be one on my TBR. But if somebody does find one out there, like, leave that in the comments below, because I might want to check that one out. Next prompt 5, read it together. So pick a book that you can read, or a devo. Pick a book or a devo that you can read together with a small group, whether it's a small group of guys, small group of girls, small group of guys and girls, or a book that you can read together as a church. Because I know that a lot of churches, if they're like mine, also read novels together as a church. So the whole church will read the novel, but then you will only meet with a small group of people to discuss the novel because everyone reads at different paces. And then the last prompt, which is prompt 6, is a random read. So read a Christian novel of your choice. Of your choosing. So whatever novel you choose to read that is not one of the prompts, and you're just like, oh, I really want to read this, but it doesn't fit a prompt. Well, fits prompt 6. It's a random book, a random Christian novel, and you may choose that one. So I will write all of these little, because I'm using a cheat sheet right now, but I will leave all of the prompts in the description box below. And now I am going to give you my TBR for this prompt. Okay, so prompt 1, testimony. I am reading Michael Franchese. I can't even say his name. His testimony, which is called Blood Covenant. He was a member of Mafia, if I'm not mistaken. But he met a lady that he fell in love with, that she would not date him or talk to him or come near him unless he had God at the center of his life, and she was not joking around. And I've seen him give his testimony. You can find it on YouTube. He's actually given it several times. But if I find the one that I really liked, I'll link it below in the description. But looking at that testimony is what prompted my husband to buy this book, and is prompting me to read it. Now, he did buy this book a little while ago. We were in our older house when he bought it, but it's been on my TBR for a while, and it's a testimony, and it's a good one, so I want to read it. Together, read a novel about the call of God's people, to kingdom-focused unity on race. And for that prompt, I chose Tony Evans' Oneness, Embrace, Reconciliation, the Kingdom, and How We Are Stronger Together. This book was highly recommended after I completed one of his devos on the Bible version app. And I'm really excited to read it. Next prompt, relationships. Read a novel on godly relationships. For that book, I chose Relational Intelligence, the people skills you need for the life of purpose you want. And I got this in a faith box last month, and I just wanted to give it a go. And hopefully that actually fits the prompt. What's crazy is that I came up with these prompts, and I just have never read this book, and it just seems like it's, about good godly relationships. So there you go. Prompt 4, fiction. Read a biblical-based fiction. And for that, I chose East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This has also been one that's been on my TBR for a long time. It's a thicken, it's a tome. I'm also choosing this because I'm doing a tome TBR, so this will hit 2 readathons at one time. So there's that one. Prompt 5. Read it together. So a book or a devo that you can read together with a small group of people. So I chose The Power of Together. Discover the Christian life you've been missing. My church is supposed to start reading this, I think, this month. So I will be reading it with my small group and my ladies group. So my ladies group is just the girls that are in my small group. But we are reading this together as a church, as a small group. So that is that one. And then the last prompt, random read. So read a book of your choice. So I can't choose between these two. I know I'm going to have to choose between these two because I'm a slow reader. I can't add another book to the month of August and just be like, oh, I'm just going to add another book. I guarantee you, because the John Steinbeck book is so thick, I'm going to be rushing, and the testimony book is so thick, I'm going to be rushing to read the rest of these books. So I didn't want to add a big book, and I don't want to give up any more of my family time or my, time with my girls or my family to read books. So I'll have to choose between these. So the first one is Be Real Because Fake is Exhausting by Rick Bezet. This book, if you saw my Faith Box video, this is the book that I got in my Faith Box this month. And the other book is called If, Trading Your If-Only Regrets for God's What-If Possibilities by Mark Batterson. And this was also in a Faith Box, but it was a couple months ago. So I want to read books that I have in the house. I don't want to keep going out and getting books since I have so many here already. And I'm pretty sure my husband is tired of me constantly purchasing books and reading slower than what I purchase. So if this is a good book, I need to read it so that I can pass it along. You know what I'm saying? So I got to choose between those two books. But that is my Christian readathon TBR. So I hope that this will go somewhere. I hope that someone else will participate in it, because I'm really excited about it. So, but that's all I have for you.